Alright, I made a video a couple years ago with my setup. I've since gotten rid of the Rotel and moved on to McIntosh. We'll get into the components real quick here. This is what powers the Scalas, an MC202 McIntosh, 200 watts a channel, 8 ohms. The surround sound is powered by the McIntosh MC7106. This is 100 watts a channel, 6 channels into 8 ohms, but I have 4 ohm speakers, so they're 160 watts a channel. Except for the center channels, they're 2 center channels, 8 ohms, 100 watts a piece, one there and one behind the picture. I also have MX119. The light in the back there is the Bluetooth audioquest Beetle. Great little Bluetooth receiver that I have hooked up as well. That amp down there is for the rest of the house. I have another 4 speakers in the kitchen and dining room, and that'll be at 120 watts a channel, 4 ohms. Works well. A little monster power down there is for the TV and little Blu-ray. I do have a McIntosh Blu-ray on the way. We have the monster power voltage stabilizer, cleaner. You can see it's adding about almost 7 volts right now. Only an amp because nothing's running. And then McIntosh music server. It's nice and convenient. I miss having all the discs, but I still have a Sony S CD player that will hook up to the McIntosh, and then I can use it as a transport and use the DA converter in the McIntosh. There's the Blu-ray, pretty decent. Got rid of the SPL, got a digital drive 12 because it can hook up digitally to the 18, and then they work in unison with the room correction and all that. Haven't quite got that put together, still waiting on a cable. The prize gem is the not the movies, the ALK engineering filtering networks. These are the extreme slope networks. They were $1,400 for the pair, or for the set, for both speakers. Most people are like, well, why didn't you do Kreitz? Kreitz is so much better. And I'm not going to badmouth Kreitz, but they use Paul's design. They just put new caps, new updated caps. So yeah, of course, they're great. They're perfect for a tune-up, especially if you have old filtering networks like these that are from the late 80s, and most of them are even older than that. They're a great tune-up, but they are not an upgrade. They are a tune-up. Still Paul's design. Paul designed that for a reason, to get the sound pressure level he was going for, as well as to keep the speakers affordable. He was trying to get his speakers in every household at the time. So those have made a huge change. Anybody that won't necessarily agree, I say go and read Al's papers that he's written. I believe one he's even had published about what he's doing in the filtering networks. He doesn't have just, tried and true techniques. He has real testing, real world testing. He is a microwave filter engineer. So he does a really good job at keeping things simple without getting, I guess, too layman's terms. It's enjoyable paper to read. All his stuff, sound logic, and then even more so, here they are sitting here, and the difference that they've made is huge. And time aligning he does that with the filter networks themselves. So none of them make the same frequency. Very limited crossover, or I guess, well, that's what the slope is. Don't know a whole bunch about that, but it made sense to me. So trying to not be too shaky. We'll listen to the same song, even through the crappy phone, microphone, and speakers. I believe you'll hear a difference. It's really nice listening level. Barely using the 200 watts available. See, we're using only about 2 watts compared to the 200 that are available. same song, same crappy cell phone mic, same crappy cell phone speakers. But I listened to it myself, just the difference. I'm sure there's a difference in wattage output as well, but you can't deny the clarity of McIntosh. There's a reason why they have the name that they do, as well as just spec for spec next to the Rotel that I had. And then also didn't realize just how efficient these Scalas are until I owned a Mac and saw that the listening level, even at the highest listening level that I go to when everybody's gone and it's in the middle of the day so the neighbors don't complain, I was still only pushing maybe 90 watts. And 90 watts through a pair of Scalas in a small room, that's rocking and rolling. So I decided to tone down the wattage, but also noticed a difference in the balance during movies. The McIntosh has made a real big difference in clarity because of the distortion levels are 0.005 in their amplifiers and even less than that in the processor, almost non-existent in the music server there. Movies are clean and more uniform throughout the surround, just way more uniform. I do believe that the Rotel was a little easier to adjust, a little more adjustments that Rotel had, as well as their Zone 2 adjustments were easier. McIntosh makes keypads, so that was fun wiring those up. But now that it's all there, it's fun and easy. Anybody can use it. You can't dispute the look of McIntosh as well. They're gorgeous stuff. And my last video I said that only the DD12 or DD18 was up because it made the bass too muddy. That was an adjustment issue that I had on my side. Once I was able to get everything adjusted, it tightened up the bass considerably. The benefit of the DD12 and the DD18 together is they do that adjustment themselves. You just hook them up with a computer cable, basically, run the sweep, you're done. You can augment things for personal sound, but they're awesome. And I will never go back to anything other than an 18-inch woofer, not just for the Scalas, but there's nothing like an 18-inch woofer that makes a movie. So that's basically it. Same room. Everything else is the same. I changed out the silver cabling. Did notice that they have a brightness to them. I wanted to soften up the Scalas a little more after I did the McIntosh, which has that warmer sound. Also the crossovers themselves, which toned them down a little bit. I enjoyed it more. I was able to hear the bass more. Those bass horns sound awesome. This amplifier has the 3 big transformers, just like their tube amps. They say it has a warmer tube amp sound. Of course, I'm sure that's a lot of that is engineered, not so much tube. That's what we were listening to. So I guess that's it. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I tend to kind of ramble on, so I'm going to stop. Thank you for watching.